men and women in uniform will be delighted to hear from you. And as is the tradition of the town board will attempt to stay behind after the formal portion of the meeting has concluded. If everyone could rise. Councilwoman Booth, would you lead us in pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Please call the roll.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Messina. Here. Councilor Clayton.
Here.
Councilman Boothby.
Here.
Councilman Hughes.
Here.
Councilman Santino.
Here.
Councilman King Sweeney. Receiver of taxes, Dominic Slater.
Here.
All right, we have a student here before we begin. Stephanie Rodriguez, are you here?
Yes.
Hi, good morning, welcome. So you are a student at Mercy College, is that right?
Yes.
Very good, and you're taking a seminar in what?
2 years ago.
Okay, very good. Well, welcome to the town hall of the town board. Please call the first public hearing, excuse me.
Petition of Commissioner of Buildings to demolish and remove a two-story, two-family dwelling and remove all litter and debris from property in Elmont.
Is that what you wish to be heard on this matter? I make a motion.
So, I move that the hearing be closed and the matter approved.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Messina.
Aye.
Councilman Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino.
Aye.
Councilman King Sweeney.
Please call the next public hearing.
Proposed local law regarding regulations and restrictions to limit parking in East Meadow, Merrick, and West Hempstead.
Does anybody wish to be heard on this matter? May I have a motion?
Move the public hearing be closed and propose local law.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Ambrosino. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino. Councilman King Sweeney.
Please call the next public hearing.
Proposed local law regarding parking or standing prohibitions in East Meadow, North Belleville, Seaford, and West Hempstead.
Does anybody wish to be heard on this matter? May I have a motion?
I move that the hearing be closed and be done.
Second.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Ambrosino.
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Boothby.
Aye.
Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino.
Aye.
Councilman King Sweeney.
Please call the next public hearing.
Proposed local law regarding arterial stops in Belmore.
Okay, does anybody wish to be heard on this matter? May I have a motion?
I move that the hearing be closed and be adopted.
Second.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Ambrosino. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino.
Aye.
Councilman King Sweeney.
Please call the next public hearing.
Proposed local law regarding bus stops in East Meadow and North Belmore.
Does anybody wish to be heard on this matter? May I have a motion?
Move the public hearing be closed and propose local law adopted.
Supervisor Murray.
Aye.
Councilman Ambrosino. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino.
Aye.
Councilman King Sweeney.
Please call the next application.
Application of Turkan AK to rezone from Residence B District to Business District in East Meadow. I also have a companion application of Turkan AK for inclusion in and variance from provisions of GSS ordinance in East Meadow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You can identify yourself for the record, please.
Town of Wisconsin, Gazelle, Wisconsin, 525 Rockwall Road, Suite B4, Melville, New York, 11747. Attorney for the applicant. This morning I was requesting an adjournment. There seemed to be a miscommunication between the applicant, our client, and the real estate expert, and the real estate expert was not retained in time to prepare for this hearing. We'd like him to be present.
Does anybody wish to be heard on this request for adjournment of this matter? All right. Make a motion. Adjournment,
I move that we adjourn the matter.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Emerson. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes. Councilman Santino. Councilman King Sweeney.
And when the matter is given a new date, obviously it's ready to go.
Great, thank you so much.
Please call the administrator's calendar.
On the administrative calendar, I have items 1 through 47. I also have 3 resolutions that are of urgent nature to be added to the calendar. First resolution is as follows. Resolution amending Resolution number 1355-4214, establishing town board meeting dates for the year 2015. This will be item 48 on the administrative calendar. The second resolution is as follows. Resolution declaring the town board's intentions to be the lead agency in accordance with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, process for the application by Nassau Events Center LLC for conceptual master plan approval in the Mitchell Field Mixed-Use District. This will be item 49 on the administrative calendar. The third resolution is as follows. Resolution amending resolution number 368-2015 concerning North Valley Street Library Funding District election of April 21st, 2015. This will be item 50 on the administrative calendar.
Okay, do any of the council members wish to sever any of the items on the administrative calendar? If not, any motion?
Yes, I move, Supervisor, the administrative calendar, entirety items 1 through number 50. Page number 48.
Okay, so I'll ask again, does anybody wish to sever any of the administrative items? Yes? Okay. Any others? And are I know there are members of the public who wish to be heard on a number of the administrative items. And before I call up the first person to speak on the administrative calendar, we also want to welcome another student, Patricia Carroll, from Baldwin. Patricia, where are you? Patricia Carroll? What over? Well, I'm going to hold my signature until I go. But if she is here, we certainly will. So we have Felix Percaccio.
Felix Percaccio, 1165 Orange Street, Franklin Square, New York. Good morning. I didn't quite get on those new items, number 48. I just really need to hear what that one's about, and I'd like more explanation on number 49.
49, which was 49 the first question?
Well, 48 and 49. 48, I just didn't really get the whole gist of what it said, so I'm not sure.
Let's changing, 48 is changing the chapter calendar in May from the 12th and the 26th, so it's now be the 12th and the 19th. That's number 48. Number 49, this has to do with the Coliseum redevelopment. The master conceptual plan was filed with the clerk this morning, and there are a number of agencies, including the town of Hempstead, who can opt and ask to be the lead agent in the CEQA process, the environmental review process. And this resolution declares that we want to be the lead agents in the CEQA process for the Coliseum Unit Deal program. And number 50,
The 50, I got it.
Okay.
I understand that. Okay, so number 11 is not here anymore. We're going to speak on it, so we're not going to talk about that one today.
sure we are, that's number
Oh,
11.
oh yeah, but you said it.
That was 7.
Oh, you said it. Oh, but they overruled it. Okay, so and my feeling is this legislation does not go far enough. It must include wording that states the town of Hempstead government recognizes the area designated by census area. What? I asked if I could talk
We're
to them.
discussing everything other than that.
Oh, okay, that's what I said. I just was asking for clarification. I'm sorry. Okay. Item number 3, case number 15519. Okay.
Civil service, sort of continuing with the kind of
Yeah, I looked up the details you gave, sending one person for training. The question is, what is the purpose of this training exactly? I couldn't find any information on the internet about what it's done in these conventions.
civil service here today. Not, I would imagine that when they talk about the latest regulations, rules, this is off the top of my head, Mr. Scott.
Okay.
Law changes over the last year that may have been passed by the Assembly, things that are upcoming. It's changes in positions, changes in language, and that's what the purpose of the conference is.
Okay. One of the reasons why I'm interested in this is, we had this discussion a couple of meetings ago on a civil service position, and I went home, I looked up on the internet. You indicated that people who apply for the positions in the town of Hempstead do not require residency, but when I go to the town's website, it's sort of not a little contradictory, but one says that it requires 4 months of residency prior to application or the tests, and another one requires residency unless specified. In both cases, unless specified otherwise, residency is required. And so the positions I questioned about, a couple of meetings ago, you indicated that no residency is required, but meanwhile your civil service web page indicates residency is required unless specified otherwise.
I thought you, a couple town boards ago, I thought you had talked about a particular title.
I told you about a particular town was
You
right.
talked about commissions.
No, I wasn't talking about commissions. It was a low-level position, and it was a clerical position, and the person lived in Oyster Bay, and, but your website indicates otherwise, that the residency is required.
It varies by position. For example, the town attorney must be in other positions.
How about a clerk aide, clerk laborer?
I'd have to have the entire list of every position in front of me.
Can you send me that? I see there seems to be a conflict between, whether you're allowing certain people, requiring certain people to live in the town of Hempstead and other people get away with not having a residency. It doesn't seem like a consistent,
Civil service positions, and they're not, so different positions require different residency.
yeah, well, it says unless specified otherwise. So if it's not specified in the application, that means residency is required according to the documentation that's on the civil service website. That's really what it comes down to, very simple, plain and simple.
This question should be answered by the Civil Service Commission.
Okay.
I'd be glad to sit down
Okay, so
and look at what you're looking at.
Okay, so if I foil the documents regarding these positions that I'm interested in, whether I discussed previously, you'll give me the application required? Okay. Okay. Items number 14 Okay, item number 12. Basically, I looked at the details that were on the web. I couldn't really figure out what this is, what you're amending, and what the reason. Maybe I want a reason,
This is a home rule message to Albany to extend a pilot on various parklands that we have. The home rule message, Albany requests a home rule message to the county in support of the bill that's in the Senate and the Assembly to extend a pilot for the Wilmington School District on certain parklands down at Lee.
Okay. We talked about park districts or something like that.
Well, because it's park, so the pilot has to be extended.
Items 14, 15, 16, 17. The reason why I asked about these, they're all bond resolutions for the purchase of various equipment. According to the financial reports and according to Moody's and Standard & Poor's, we didn't borrow any money in 2013. We didn't borrow much money in 2014. There's a little bit, there was a refunding and then something else, $18 million for roads. We have all these outstanding resolutions amounting to, I estimate, about maybe between $80 million. And now we're adding additional bond resolutions. Are we planning on, how do we implement this? When you pass resolutions and you never implement the bond, how does that work? You're not, whoever did that answer.
What we're doing here is we're authorizing the capital plan as it relates to the park, not borrowing money. We borrow money at the point that we need the money, so as to avoid any debt service on that, when it's out.
Okay, but we authorized a lot of, like I said, I think it's about around $80 million in borrowing that hasn't been implemented. The financial report actually says we borrowed no money in 2015, but we had like $52 million in authorizations. So
it's all about the projects, when the funds are necessary.
Okay.
Because then we want to avoid debt service, and that is on the point.
Okay, so these resolutions should go on essentially indefinitely. Once you get the authorization, we borrow 10 years.
Every year there's a capital plan, there's an infrastructure plan, it's required that we go out. For example, roads money about $20 million a year. We need to go on roads, or bulkheads, or parks, especially the right of sand.
Understood. But that's why I was surprised that you didn't borrow any money in 2013 to do the repairs that were in that $50 million that was authorized to borrow. That was just, the question is, why get authorization if you're not going to use it? Especially since we need the repairs, like I said.
It's about time. Or to use this question is when we implement it, we borrow.
Okay.
It's all that time.
Okay, I got it. Okay, item number 21. This affects my area, Franklin Square. I looked at the details, it didn't indicate which roads, is it for roads, is it for something else? It says road improvement, road improvements.
Mr. Roberts, do you have that information?
Yes, Elmont, Franklin Square.
Okay, so if I contact the Department of Highway, I can get the roads that need to be repaired? Engineering department, I would ask. Yeah, because there was one road I did complain about, Cape Murray Health, when I've gone between Washington Street and Courthouse Road and New Hyde Park Road. It's a disaster. It's collapsed, it's repaired, it's patchwork. We paved Washington Street all the way almost to the school, the other way, going east, but that one road, that was the worst section that was never paved. It's really heavily used. Yeah, because I think that should be a priority if it's really needed.
The commissioner can tell you actually the specific ones.
Okay. And then number 39, that we talked about.
number 11, which is partisan union resolution. But other than that resolution, does anybody want to speak on any of the other resolutions? As I say, I don't have any opportunities. So roll. Everything but 11.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Epstein. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Boosby. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino. Councilman King Sweeney.
Please call administrative item number 11. Okay, very good. This is, and Councilman Boosby, is going to read the actual resolution, but I just wanted to take a moment to thank, in particular, Greg Maney and Janine Maynard, and from community, and Mr. Joe Roth, our town attorney. They have been working very diligently, of course, in concert with Councilman Boosby's office as well, to get the language of today's resolution. It is an agreed to language in the resolution, and it took a lot of work, and I just want to thank the community for input, and Councilman Boosby, of course, and Mr. Joe Roth for doing the stuff work of it, but the hard work of it. So
Thank you, Supervisor. And certainly, and certainly this is. Can you hear me? You can't hear?
Now we can.
Okay. All right. I know Mr. Rob worked on this to make this morning, so thank you all so very much for all the hard work and all of the very, very diligence that you did in order to go back and find history. I will read the resolution, and it reads as follows. Resolution requesting U.S. Census Bureau to change the census tract delineated as East Garden City to Unionville. Whereas the Greater Unionville Area Action Coalition has requested the town board of the town of Hempstead to support a change in the designation of census tract 4073.01 as delineated in the 2010 census. And whereas the 2010 census delineated census tract number 4073.01 as East Garden City, and whereas the delineated tract corresponds to the historical Mitchell Field documented by New York State government through New York State Division of Military and Naval Affairs, Military District to be Mitchell Field, Unionville, Long Island, in 1917 through 1961. A U.S. Army Air Force base. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Hempstead formally requests the U.S. Census Bureau change the name of census tract 4073.01 from East Garden City to Unionville, and further resolve that in correspondence, statements, maps, and websites, the town of Hempstead henceforth refrain from the use of East Garden City. The four-core resolution is what we need to vote on at this particular time. So, I also the motion that this be accepted.
second.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Epstein. Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Boosby. Yes, of course. Councilman Hughes.
Aye.
Councilman Santino. Councilman King Sweeney.
All right, history has been made.
had to give us time and you time to put it all together to make sure it's correct.
Dr. Greg Manning, 24 Rogers Street, Hempstead, Uniondale School District. On behalf of the Greater Uniondale Area Action Coalition, we want to thank Town Supervisor Murray, Councilwoman Gooseby, and the entire town board for listening to our concerns and supporting Uniondale in our struggle to not be divided. By passing the resolution today, you are making it crystal clear that you represent us, your constituents, not developers and realtors who are trying to steal our core assets and commercial tax base. We look forward to moving together on this important matter, specifically working with Commissioner Bakich as part of the process to remove East Garden City from the 2020 census, working with the supervisor and the board to change the East Garden City Fire Protection District to another name, replacing torn down gateway signs and creating new ones as was agreed to, and as part of implementing the Uniondale Vision Plan, generously funded by the town and the county. We also wish to thank Councilwoman Gooseby for her generous offer to lobby for us on the federal level. We anticipate having those materials to you by the end of the week. Thank you for your patience. So, who are we? Uniondale! What does this resolution show us? Thank you.
Need mayors? Good morning. Good morning. And thank you again. A lot of good work.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful experience and partnership. I want to thank all of the Board of Supervisors and express on behalf of the community our deep appreciation that you have seen our story and chosen to help us protect our identity, understanding how important these ideas and the actual history and story of Long Island is, how much it means to the residents of Uniondale, and how we hold our future as something important, and we want to be full participants. We know that there's language developing the hub. We know that there are so many things going on, and we are a central Nassau County community. But as we depend on our local form of government, we want to make sure that we have the strong partnerships from the very start, so that we're respected at each level of government. And this action today really secures that. It secures our history, the importance of it to us and to you, and I thank you on behalf of the community.
I would like to say to all of you, as your councilwoman, I've always respected you. And certainly I have tried my very best to make sure that your concerns have been taken care of. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
If you could share your address, name and address.
James B. Jacobs. No. Thank you for your patience. James B. Jacobs, 568 Ashford, Uniondale. For one council people, Ms. Kate Murray, Ms. Ruby, Ms. Agostino, and the rest. I just want to say thank you ever so much for supporting 2819, the resolution changed to make it like Mr. Maynard and Mr. Janine spoke earlier about. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting us and the schools for being our champion in some manner. And thank you for showing that government does work and does listen to the people. Sure, to the point. And thank you to all people sitting that day. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you're certainly welcome, and those are lovely remarks, and absolutely consider us your partners with joint with them.
Okay, and I appreciate that. And just one little note, I'm must compliment Ms. Lucy because she's always seen the champion and underdog, and I appreciate it for that fact. And sometimes it was like your moment in the fight, but you always have somebody watching and supporting you. Okay? And thank you, Ms. Abbott, that you always welcome to come to our meetings, you know, and Mr. Bond, UCC and the rest. Okay, sir? So you're part of Unionville too. Take care. Thank you.
Good morning. Martin Melkonian, 763 Goodrich Street, Uniondale. I'm a 44-year resident of Uniondale, and this has been a long struggle. Some of you may remember the name Bert Wallace, who was a pioneer in making sure that we kept Uniondale united as a fully united community, and we're grateful to the board in following through with this resolution. So thanks again.
My name is Heidi Snapp. My address is 116 Florence Avenue, Hempstead, New York, which is in the Uniondale School District. My family has lived in the Hempstead, Uniondale area and owned a home here since 1967. I want to thank all of you so much for making this decision, for working and partnering with us to do the right thing. There's a saying that bad things happen when good people do nothing. And Supervisor Murray, I recently read an article where you agreed on a similar statement, and I thought, okay, this is good. Thank you for doing right by the community. It makes a world of difference to us. As you know, Uniondale is a global village. We're moving forward together. This is one Long Island, and it's really nice to see that all of you are on our side. Thank you.
Margot Carter. Good morning.
Good morning. Margot Cargill, 589 New Avenue, New York. I'm one of the Uniondale Chamber of Commerce, and all business owners of Uniondale want to formally thank the town of Hempstead for doing proper due diligence in requesting the U.S. Census Bureau draft the CDP delineation of East Orange City. And we want to really formally thank you for preserving the lands and the economic assets of Uniondale. It's extremely important for us to preserve the history of this area. So we want to thank you.
It's a great community.
Village Procacci, 1165 Bond Street, Franklin Square, New York. I was going to, my statement included making some of those changes you included in the final resolution, because it means nothing if the federal government changes a name, but if the local officials don't recognize that name, you're still back where you started. I know this is a great day for Uniondale, but you know, what was disturbing was a couple of weeks ago, the PSEG issue with those 17 poles that were going to go up. I think 15 of those, maybe even 16, were going to be in Uniondale, and it's not even you. In every press statement, I read them all, on Newsday, News Club, you always referenced Garden City, Eastern Garden City.
I did not listen.
And I just hope that in the future, that you remember that it's Uniondale and not Eastern Garden City. Thank you.
Mr. With all due respect, we saw, I think you posted to the newsday.com or whatever, and we went over, I never said East Garden City, so I'm absolutely going to correct the record.
You're mistaken. What it referred to was it mentioned, folks mentioned that the eastern property owners of Garden City which is a section of Garden City and a legal governmental organ of the village. Nobody in the town mentioned East Garden City or used that term, so you were mistaken. You probably should have checked the facts before you posted it to Newsday.
I have all my facts on video, and I was at the PACG meeting, as you know, and I recorded that meeting, and I just watched it last night. We referred to it as Eastern Garden City. Thank you.
We'll agree to disagree, Mr. Procacci. The rest of the speaking slips say no, but does anybody else wish to be heard on this resolution number 11? Good morning, sir. If you could share your name and address.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Paul Gibson.
Oh, okay.
I
Maybe.
live in Winter Avenue, 869 Winter Avenue, Unionville. I put maybe, so that's why.
Yes,
You
yes,
see?
no, that's it.
I wanted to just introduce myself to just explain that I moved into Unionville in 1984 and have lived there since, and like thousands of other commuters in Long Island, get up in the morning and work and that until November of this last year, where I earned the right to tell people good luck, goodbye, I'm retired. And so this is my second, thank you, this is my second town meeting, town hall meeting, and town board meeting, and I plan to become more involved as a citizen. However, if you look at the voting, you'll see that I have always been involved as a conscientious voter, and you could probably count on your hand, maybe your feet, the times that I've missed a general or primary vote. So without going any further, it's clear to me that some folks can be observing but not necessarily voting and be involved. For that reason, I'm here to support it, and I want to thank you all for the resolution. It's clear to me that from my family experience in public service, constituents can come to you with a lot of emotion and appeal to you, and constituents can come to you with a lot of facts and appeal to you. In this case, the members of Uniondale came to you with both. And through the effort, collaborative efforts, we were able to get to a resolution that makes sense and shows the support that we needed. So on behalf of all those who don't get a chance to come here, thank you very much, and thank you for your support.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Sir? We'll get to everything. Good morning, sir. You can
Good
share
morning,
your
good
name,
morning.
address.
Supervisor, and we'll be all the members of the town board. My name is Michael Georges. I'm a member of the Unionville Board of Education.
I'm Dr. Terry Mangum, also a member of the Board of Education.
I want to add my voice to the other residents of the community and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Very often, all we hear is vilification and that sort of thing directed towards elected officials. But here, you have to be commended for doing the right thing. Thank you very much.
It's very important to us to maintain the integrity of the Uniondale area school district and also the library. And so we thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you. Did anyone else wish to be heard?
Good morning. My name is Martha Ann Brady, and I have lived in Uniondale since 1948. 67 years, if my mathematics is correct, and I'm tired and I don't know that it is. But I lived through Mitchell Field being an active Army Air Corps base, and as I stated yesterday in front of Nassau County, many times planes would go up and we'd say, come on, hit the cemetery, not our houses, not the Southern State Parkway. And we had at least 3 planes that went down. and Mitchell Field when it was deactivated in 1961. It was split into 4 sections. Hofstra got a piece, then the county got a piece, and I'm forgetting about the other pieces, but it's all Uniondale, Coliseum, and Marriott, and parts of Hofstra. And it's a great town. And I wouldn't live any place else. I'm retired 3 years now, and I could go other places. So why don't you say you have to move someplace else? I love Uniondale. And we have a very mixed community, both in my church, St. Martha's, and in the other people in the community. And we work together. We're brothers and sisters working together, and this is what the world should be about. And I thank you. Words that people forget these days. Please and thank you. They are such magic words. And thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you.
Once again, anybody else? If not, we'll go again. Did you call the roll?
You voted on it already.
Ms. Meredith?
Just for clarification, I wanted to speak on other resolutions. I don't know if you're asking for anyone else.
Oh, no, this is just on 11. This is just on the Uniondale resolution.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Never-Sino. Councilman Blakeman. Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes. Councilman Santino. Councilman Kingswing.
May I have a motion?
Move we adjourn.
Supervisor Murray. Councilman Never-Sino. Councilman Blakeman. Councilman Boothby. Councilman Hughes. Councilman Santino. Councilman Kingswing.
Okay, Ms. Meredith, I know you wanted to speak on some administrative items. We had technically adjourned, we're done, but if you want to come up and... So the full portion of the meeting is adjourned. Thank you again to the residents, neighbors of Uniondale. Great partnership.
Yes, good afternoon. Rita J. Merriday, 758 Wesley Street, Baldwin. I wanted to ask with regard to resolutions 29, 31, and 32. I do have a question for 29 and 31 have to do with the locations of the headquarters of the contractors who are listed in the parentheses. I just want to know if they are Long Island based, and Hempstead possibly, maybe better known. If I could ask that question, it is kind of public information.
Yeah, sure. It's a low-bid situation, but Commissioner Rottenstein, on 29, do you know the corporate addresses of Roadwork ahead on 29 and
I don't know the actual.
Pennsylvania?
The actual address. I mean, Roadwork head is based on Westbury.
Okay.
Laser is obviously raised on the actual address. What's that?
On theirs, it's not documented on the
Roadwork head is Stewart Avenue, West Bay.
That's great, it's a lot of business.
Laser Industry is Rich, New York.
Okay. And DS contracting?
I'm working on that.
That's number...
That's 31.
31. Commissioner Rottenstein?
Yeah, it's Station Road, Medford, New York.
Thank you for that. And I was just trying to get an understanding with regard to the vetting process, because I believe I'd asked about this previously in terms of the diversity question. When we seek the actual applicants for these positions, are we looking into making sure that we have the inclusion of minority women, veteran-owned businesses, and also providing opportunities for our young people?
I know they're very very rigid bidding specs for low-bid situations.
All these contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder. There's no preferences.
So there is no preference per se. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying in terms of the outreach process itself, because it just seems like there's a lot of similarities with the fact that a lot of the contract opportunities are going outside of, let alone the town, but also the county and even in a larger sense, the state of New York. And then we say we're trying to create jobs and we're trying to support local businesses, and I have a problem with that. So I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to be clear with that.
Yeah, Ms. Meredith?
Yes.
You and I are on the same wavelength. I mean, I would like to see a lot more work go to local contractors. But when it is in a low bid situation, by law, you're required to take the low bid. But in other situations, there can be local targets, minority, women, veterans, when it's not a low bid situation.
Well, yes, particularly if you have any type of federal funding, when you have veteran preferences, because that's by law.
When it's not low bid,
Okay.
you can do that. Yes.
Okay.
You can have targets.
Okay, but I just feel that the town specifically should be doing a better job in terms of its recruitment and outreach so that we can at least provide those opportunities for those companies that, for a large part, legislators, they feel very left out. I'm sorry. They feel very left out. I'm sorry?
Are you from Roosevelt?
I was born and raised in Roosevelt, yes, but I currently live in Baltimore.
Were you related to Maida Meredith?
Meet E. Meredith is my grandmother. I'm Meet J.
She's
Meredith.
a friend of my mother.
Yes, I
She's been at our
know.
house many times.
Very, very much aware of that. Yeah, so I have a lot of history
Fine
in
woman.
here. Thank you. And my great uncle, who was one of the first minority contractors in Nassau County, laid some of the concrete in the building that we're now sitting in. So I'm deeply rooted in my process with regards to making sure that we have inclusion and that we open the doors and broaden the scope. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I had that noted in terms of where these companies are from. Now, my last issue with regard to this is on 31, we're talking about the reconstruction of the athletic field at Kozenek.
Right.
Weren't we just in a photo a couple of months ago with regard to that, and there was something different that...
No, that was the, I think it was...
That was the basketball court?
Basketball court.
Okay.
Slowly but surely, doing the entire park over, and now this is the fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
So
is
that
the
was
fields
other
themselves.
great improvements in the park.
Okay. Because it would be nice if we could possibly get some involvement from the local residents or the businesses, not necessarily from this particular overall contract, but I would like to think that there are some subcontracting opportunities or some work opportunities. We have a lot of young people who are going to be coming back from school and they need jobs. So I'm just hoping again that we can kind of broaden the scope in terms of getting town residents involved in the project, because town residents are paying their taxes for it. And do you want me to go with my other stuff while I'm sitting?
Sure.
Okay. Coming here today was a challenge. Like the last time when I came here and we had the snowstorm, I had to park across the street. And for those of you who do not know, I'm a 9/11 responder, so I may look healthy when I'm sitting here, but I'm suffering from all of the various and sundry diseases. And the fact that I was never a smoker is the fact that I'm still sitting here. So the fact that I had to park across the street in front of Staples and kind of work my way across here, because I was told by the nice gentleman in public safety that those orange cones that were in front of the visitor spot were for attendees at a special meeting by your authorization. I'm really troubled by that, because
I'm sorry that you weren't...
it's labeled visitors parking, but they had the orange cones in all of those spaces, and he said that this was by Kate Murray's directive. And his suggestion was, he said there was another meeting, and I said I was here for the town board meeting.
This is the meeting. This is the meeting.
I'm
very sorry about that, Ms. Meredith. I don't know what the public safety officer was actually referring to, but absolutely accept my apology, that was not right, and you should have gotten all due consideration for your parking.
Because he did say to take it up with you, and I promised him that.
I promise you, it will be corrected. Commissioner Di Maria, Commissioner of Public Safety, you will absolutely be told. That was
Okay, and my last issue has to do with, again, downtown Baldwin. From what I've been hearing and getting confirmed is that once again, we are out with a sign, please come help, please develop us, please give us a chance, please bring a store to the downtown area of Grand Avenue. But I would like to hope that we can, with all these postcards that go out to the different things that are taking place, that we can bring more of our residents together to get a clear idea of what our role is in this. I understand what the town's role is. I understand what the town is basically responsible for. I get all of that. But unfortunately, there are many residents that are blaming the town of Hempstead unduly. And we really need to come to the table with the parties involved to get this addressed. Because it is very disheartening to drive through other communities that may be having their own challenges. But when you drive through other communities where you see apartment buildings, narrow bread, things of that nature going up, and the only thing that we can cut a ribbon on Grand Avenue in Baldwin are the 4 7-Elevens. That's really not a testament for those of us who work hard in that community, that we really don't have much to show for our efforts. We don't have places to go to walk downtown to enjoy the benefits.
I know Ms. Kingsley, Councilman Kingsley, recently had a meeting with representatives from the chamber and from the Golden Civics as well, and there is ongoing talks between the town attorney and the resident organizations with regard to, some things that might, some stores that may come in. It's a process, it's been a long time.
Okay. And I do look forward to meeting with the councilwoman. I have been to your office and I called your office to try to set up a meeting and not gotten any response from Dave.
Actually, I look forward to working with you, and actually I've had you here in my office, and I believe we've reached out to you to attach your meeting. I'll have a meeting anytime. I have been involved in countless times, and I look forward to getting to know the community better. I will meet with you anytime.
Okay.
Anytime you want to meet, Kathy to my office, Alex to my office, I will
Okay.
meet with you.
Because they did come to your office like last month and left my information to set something up and I
I
didn't hear
did
it.
call.
You called me?
And I left a message.
Okay.
Twice, actually.
I apologize if I didn't get it because I'm on call 24 hours because I work with displaced veterans, so I always return it.
Okay, I'll meet with Kathy now, set up a date.
Okay.
I can come to you in Baldwin, come to my office, whatever works.
Perfect. Last question. Will somebody be able to take me back across the system?
Yes, public safety.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I'm trying not to use my emergency inhaler as much
Absolutely.
as possible.
This is Deputy Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He's right behind you.
Okay.
He is going to be your personal assistant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Diane Madden? Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to discuss yet another policy that is taking place at the Town of Hempstead Animal Shelter, created by the director. Another policy that obstructs adoptions and puts these dogs at further distance from the public. In Kennel 3, there's an area, and for as long as I've known, the public and volunteers can access that area. There's approximately 6 cages, and now we've received many messages that these volunteers are prohibited from that area with the excuse that it's a safety issue. It's never been a safety issue. There are no additional incidences that have taken place in that area. Again, it's just another policy that duplicates a kill shelter policy that again prohibits animals being seen and reduces their chances for adoption. I think it's important to put that on the record and find out if you know about that.
We don't know about that particular scenario. It's an operational.
I will look into it. I know that in the past there are times that there are dogs that have particular behavioral issues that have been isolated back there for being quiet and calm. And I also know that there are volunteers that are cleared to work with certain levels of animals, they're coded by behavior colors. And it's possible that those animals are red animals and volunteers are not allowed to walk them. So I don't know the exact situation as it is, but
No, I appreciate that, because again, that's an assumption. They've never had that policy. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
But I know that there are various reasons over the course of time why certain animals have been isolated, a lot of times for arousal issues. I don't know what the situation is right now. I think there's no reason why you
Right. What's important is that these animals have that human contact and shelter enrichment. They're still able to receive treats by the public and by volunteers, and they should be.
Animals cannot receive treats from the public. If an animal is in a certain state,
But that, on that particular page, that would be posted.
there are myriad of circumstances.
That would be posted on the paperwork. I understand that some animals can't
I'm
receive
saying,
treats.
I will look into it.
Okay. Also, I'd like to point out that, and this is something that we discussed in our meeting, to date on the shelter's Facebook page, not only aren't urgent animals posted on that page, but there's still no link to the volunteer application, there's no link to the buddy program, there's no link to the foster care program, and again, I'm not quite understanding why that is.
I'm not sure how you're navigating the site. I double-checked it and accessed them myself.
It's on the left-hand side, there's no specific link to a volunteer application, but that's very indirect. There's not even posts on that page that would explain that to, excuse me?
You said they were missing.
They are, no, they are missing. It's very,
I made requests to find a way to make it more visible. You have to go into the site.
If I just go with Ms. Petrie, actually look at a computer and she can tell you where they are. It's the links.
there's no link. There's no link on the Facebook page to identify this is how you access a volunteer application. Thank you.
Cecile Davina? Good morning.
Good morning. I just want to bring to your attention that within the last 2 weeks, for the first time ever, we saw an outreach from the rescue coordinator for a senior dog that came in. And I was quite thrilled, to be honest. I couldn't believe it, that the rescue coordinator, this is something we've been begging for years. And in all the time that she's there, she finally put out an outreach and a cross post for rescue to come in and please take this senior dog who was turned in by its owner to euthanasia. And I just want to point that out, that this is exactly what we've been talking about, exactly what we've been begging for. And guess what? The dog was pulled the very next day from a very reputable rescue organization. So my only complaint about this is this was the first cross post of its kind, first outreach in all the years that Emily is there. And I hope this sets an example that it does work. This is what we were saying. This is what needs to be done. There are cats being turned in there every day, older cats by their owners. And these are the kinds of cross posts and outreaches that need to happen for all the cats and dogs. I don't know what made this one particular dog so lucky, but she did it and it worked. Okay? I'd like to add something. I noticed Ms. Petrie mouthing that that's not true. I'd like to point out that it is true. This was the only cross post that stated this dog will be killed tomorrow if we cannot come up with a rescue. An owner's request, no, it's up to the shelter. Once the animal is relinquished to that shelter, it doesn't matter what the owner requests. It's then in the hands of a euthanasia committee, and they decide. But again, I'd like to point out, I think it's important for you to understand
because we have been asking for a kill list. And Mike Pistori should have no problem providing a kill list. He came from an animal shelter where that's how they save the animals, and that's why rescuers are flocking past town of Hempstead to pull the animals where they have a time limit. And that is what made this cross post unique and individual and for the first time, because it was very clear that this animal had one day to be saved.
Transparency saves lives, and that's what it's going to take. And I know that you're afraid to have these kinds of outreaches out there because people are going to call you a kill shelter, but unfortunately, this is the reality of what happens to some of these animals. And all we're asking is for the transparency that it takes to save their life. And it's important to understand that. It's wonderful that you help the Uniondale people. They have a voice, and you are politicians, and it's important that you understand and hear them and respond. These animals don't have a voice, but you owe them the same outcome, and we're their voice, and to hear that. It's great, too, that Councilwoman Sweeney is open to sitting with residents and whatnot to resolve issues, and I think that one of the things I'd like to suggest, because these volunteers and some staff even are turning to us over the constant destruction that's going on in the infrastructure of that animal shelter since this director has taken over, and I think it's important to know if they can meet with you to resolve some of these issues, because this is your district.
The town of Hempstead Animal Shelter is a town-wide service. It's like our beaches. Everybody in the town of Hempstead can actually be on.
I'm not quite understanding, Kate Murray, why you keep speaking to this councilwoman. I mean, this is the second attempt I have made to speak with her, and you jump in front of her.
Very well speak for herself, but you keep identifying this like it's a park.
Well, this is Councilwoman Sweeney's district.
But it's an animal shelter that services the entire town.
Well, then why didn't the entire town board show up for a photo op? This is Councilwoman Sweeney's district. And all I'm asking is if the volunteers can meet with her and turn to her or any concerns regarding the animal shelter.
It's not particularized, and again, I'm not trying to speak for Councilwoman Sweeney.
Well, it certainly appears that way. It's the second time and I can't get a word out of her.
We had a press conference 2 weeks ago, and we had the town clerk, we had the receiver of taxes, we had senior councilman Santino, we had Councilwoman Sweeney. The entire board was invited. Oh, okay. But the entire town board was invited because it's a town-wide service.
Can you answer my question, please?
Of course, I've never been accused of being quiet in my life. You can contact my office. I'm happy to meet with people in my district. Of course I am. There's no issue. And I certainly can speak for myself and I support the supervisor.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. County Ambrosia?
Excellent.
You can share your name and address and number.
Patty Ambrosia, 239 Sunset Avenue, Allen Park, New York, 01558.
Thank you.
So, my question actually goes out to Mr. Santino, who is our counsel in Allen Park. And Mr. Santino, we have asked you to attend many of our civic meetings, starting with August, September, October, November, December. And as of yet, you still have not come to one of our civic meetings.
I have been at civic meeting, there was a civic meeting in the library, maybe in January.
The Allen Park Civic Association?
The Allen Park,
You're confused with the business residential.
but I do civic meetings all the time in the Allen Park.
And how come you haven't came to the real
I guess
Allen
it was
Park?
been a scheduling issue.
Oh, for that many months?
I didn't take the question, thank you very much.
Well, it's not really a good answer, unfortunately, for the Allen Park residents. My next question would be, what
And I would think also, not to interrupt, but I know that Councilman Santino is growing most active people out of town.
He is, and he may be.
And we have another one coming up, we have another one coming
He
up.
doesn't
in May.
address our questions, so that's why I'm here today.
I have another town meeting coming up in for Island Park and Oceanside.
Right, I think that my issues actually concern the supervisor at this point. We have asked you what the difference is between or what's the pros and the cons of being an incorporated village to unincorporated village? And I still have not received any information from you about that. Why do we need to have?
I mean, that would be the residents.
That's the resident, yes, the residents of
Okay,
our
but
park.
what's the process? What's the process of unincorporated? What happens to the village employees?
Well, I believe that, I mean, the process, I believe it's a legal question. You would have to get a petition from the state neighbor.
The first thing you have to do is get a petition to the village board. And then the village board itself would have to vote at the beginning. That's the first step. But if you contact my office, we can go through the entire process with you and let you know exactly what it is. It's very difficult because the village residents own those streets, they own the sidewalks, they own there's various things that the village residents own. And if you wanted to unincorporate, whoever's going to take you in this case probably the town of Hempstead, would then owe money to the village residents. It's kind of the reverse of when somebody wants to incorporate. So it is a very, very difficult, protracted procedure. If you contact my office, we'll get it.
And you're Mr. Rock? Okay. So my next question is, being that the town of Hempstead is going to take down the village hall in Island Park, in an incorporated village, because the village of Island Park cannot afford to do so, why be incorporated?
But that's your, you have to answer that question.
I mean, but why would the town step in and?
Well, we entered into a intermunicipal agreement with the village of Island Park.
Right.
We are going to demolish the town hall, or the village hall, probably do it in a day or so. And in return, God forbid we have another superstorm, Sandy, any kind of natural event where we need to stage emergency assets from the town of Hempstead to help the residents of Island Park and perhaps even Oceanside and Atlantic Beach, that whole barrier area. We would then have the right to use Island Park parking lots to put our assets down. That would help us greatly.
Okay.
We
With
need
that
to
said,
stage in many
with
areas.
that said, does that mean that you would pull in if the storm on Sandy shall affect us again? And would that be the area where everybody's belongings of their homes would be left on that beach? The barge would come in, you fill it up, and out it goes.
I have no idea. You're sort of making predictions about a future storm. I couldn't tell you.
Well, that's one of our concerns, is that that is what happened in Island Park, because the village of Island Park are giving you the rights to park your vehicles or whatever it may be, that it could end up how it was in Lido, where everybody's garbage went on that Lido parking lot until the neighbors started to complain, and then the barges all came, not the barges, the trucks came, picked it all up and pulled it out in the water somewhere.
Yeah, that pretty much saved Long Beach and several
Right,
other
but now we
communities
ask
in the
what's going to
area.
happen in Island Park. Is there something we can
We
get?
can't predict that. Again, the contemplation is about assets, machinery that would have to be parked and centered in the area for perhaps a protracted period of time. We know Island Park is still restricted. So that's what is contemplated with regard to town of Hempstead assets, having a home temporarily in a post-storm scenario so that we could get to the residents, get them the services they need faster, rather than having to, schlep our assets each day from wherever, some other more distant part of the town.
I don't know, I still feel that if the village can't afford $20,000 to take down their village hall, yet the town of Hempstead is stepping in, the same thing with Musone Beach. The county is stepping in to redo the bathrooms there because the village cannot afford to do it. So that's my question about unincorporating. Nothing has been done in our park. Now, one storm drain has been repaired, including the ones that I spoke approximately.
Well, again,
a year
Ms.
ago.
Ambrosia, just a sort of, and I don't mean to cut you off, but they're local issues. I think the first thing, as Mr. Ross said, it's a village board vote. I guess that would be the first step in.
You are aware that the village is building a $1.5 million in village wall, so they can't afford to take down that village wall.
Ms. Ambrosia, you're talking about.
I just want, I feel you just want it on record. That's really why I'm trying to bring this all up, because I want it on record. I know my 3 minutes are up, but I will speak to you, Mr. Rock. to move forward with that. Okay, so the beach in Harbor Isle, we know that sand was just placed there, but not enough sand. Do you know when the next load is coming in?
No, I don't.
Okay, can you look into that? Okay. And the Civic Association would like to invite you again to one of our meetings, so would you like that in writing?
I'll just call the office and give you a ring.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Domenica Calvano?
Hello, Timothy Calvano, 4043 Long Beach Road, Highland Park, New York. Welcome. Thank you. I want to put this on the record. I'm asking, why would the town of Hempstead give up the rights to clean up our waterways after Storm Sandy? Being that they had a conservation of waterways, and why did the town of Hempstead and the county hire VIP Splash and Operation Splash to do the job for $12.1 million?
I don't know that that's a factually correct statement. Commissioner Masters?
Should we repeat the question, Commissioner?
No, I understand the question. The county decided to get in front of this issue after Hurricane Sandy. They made an arrangement with FEMA to be able to supply to local municipalities the ability to clean up the waterways. Yes, the town of Hempstead does have, our conservation department does have facilities to be able to clean up the waterways, but not in the magnitude of which the county wanted to proceed with this process. Now, in parallel with VIP Splash, the town of Hempstead still responded to immediate complaints about things in the waterways which we dealt with. And we did get reimbursed, or we will be reimbursed from FEMA for our parallel process. But it was something that the county wanted to do. They went to FEMA on their own, and the town board was willing to sign an agreement with the county to take care of that process.
So you're saying that the county, it wasn't VIP Splash or Operation Splash, it was Nassau County that went and paid out of taxpayers' money, $12.1 million?
No, it's a FEMA process. The county did pay for some parts of that process, but those were initiatives that were outside of the guidelines of which FEMA paid.
But didn't the county receive $13 million for equipment to clean the waterways?
I can't answer that question.
I have a flyer here in my hand that was sent out to all the residents that they got all this equipment, and why would they hire VIP Splash Operation Splash when one was a free organization and the other one wasn't? They got $12.1 million, and half of their employees are out on full disability.
Well, I can't speak to this company and their employees. I don't know if your statements are correct or incorrect, but it's a separate company. I don't.
Okay, you could tell me about the town of Hempstead, about the waterways. Okay, he was saying the county. Okay, and also I just have one other question, please. Maybe you could help me, Kate Murray. Long Beach Road in Oceanside is Lower Lincoln Avenue. It's Waukeena and Pool Street is 360 Long Beach Road. They were doing beautification in Oceanside, the county was. I went to the county. They missed out the whole roadway where the middle of Oceanside is, where the police booth used to be. There's the drugstore there. They claimed 10 years ago that they were going to redo the sidewalks there. They gave us new garbage cans. They put up beautiful lampposts. Now, if you go there, the concrete's all broken. There's this much of the lamppost up. I went to the county. They told me I had to come to the town of Hempstead. No one's giving any answers. Is there any,
There's broken sidewalks that you want to report, is that?
not broken sidewalks where they put new light posts? They said that within a few years, if this happened, it's been going on several years, they were gonna redo the sidewalks, and they never redid the sidewalks there. They did all the brickwork and sidewalks throughout the town of Oceanside, but this main section was supposed to be beautification, and they never ever did any of the walkways. But I mean, this has been going on for 2 years, and I don't know what it talks
Mr.
about.
Alfano, you do the streetscape out of our planning department. Who's here from the planning department?
Supervisor, we haven't done anything else. She's referring to work that was done by the county a while back. I mean, we can certainly take a look at it on her behalf, but I don't encourage it.
No, it butts town of Hempstead Road, they said, that road, Lower Lincoln, between Waukena and Pool Street, and I've been getting back and forth.
You know what, let's take a look into, this is Commissioner Bakich of the planning department, and let's find out exactly, you know, the section that you're referring to. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but we'd certainly try to get that answer for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
And the other information that I was looking for with the county, with Operation Slash and VIP Slash and the waterways, who will I speak to on that? Attorney?
No, but your county legislator. If you're looking for a county contract or county information, I would suggest you speak to your county legislator. I think that would be the easiest way.
Okay, I'll speak to them.
It's a county issue.
Okay, but I was concerned about the money that they received, the town of Hempstead received for equipment, and why wasn't it used for our waterways in Nassau County? And they received all this money for equipment and got the equipment. But I'll get involved with the county and I'll call you back. Thank you.
Dios proteja us.
Several weeks ago, Supervisor Murray called a press conference because she was outraged at PSEG's refusal to disclose its executive compensation packages. I am also outraged that PSEG won't comply with the simple request, but I am also outraged at Supervisor Murray and her lack of transparency. For years, Supervisor Murray has refused to make readily available the town's comprehensive annual financial report. This report shows 10 years of financial data compiled by an independent auditor that can help town residents understand the town's finances. The town's budget book and its biased press releases and mailings are not sufficient to make an accurate and comprehensive evaluation of the town's finances. More information is needed. For the last 3 years, at town board meetings, I have asked Supervisor Murray to put this document on the town's website, but she has refused. Anyone reading these reports over the last 3 years could have seen that the town was heading into fiscal problems. Instead, the truth was revealed by credit agency reports that downgraded the town's bond rating twice in the last 2 years. I am also outraged by the lack of responsiveness on the part of the Murray administration, as they have clearly been misleading residents on budget issues. Today, I respectfully call for town legislation to compel town officials to publish all audits on its website, along with video of town board's most recent meeting. I ask all board members to support this legislative initiative and call for a hearing to allow public input into this transparency legislation. If you agree with Supervisor Murray's initiative against PSEG, I see no compelling reason why you would oppose this legislative initiative that would cost nothing and would provide what is desperately needed in town government, and that is more transparency. And that is the more important fact that Newsday needs to convey to its readers, not Supervisor Murray's phony press-grabbing outrage. On another issue, talking about the polls, I got a map from 1940 off the internet regarding those polls that we refer to constantly regarding the city. In 1940, what happened in 1940, Mitchell Field was designated as a command base for the defense of the northeast United States, linking up with other bases along the northeast coast of the United States. This yellow here is where those poles, and it shows the telephone poles here in 1940. They were put underground, well, I guess apparently because of the 4,800-foot runway that was put there, and they, I guess, didn't want planes crashing into the lines. Those poles would not be visible from any house in eastern Garden City, or Uniondale, or anywhere else, and the place is literally littered with poles. It's a huge substation. I just wish you wouldn't make big issues over things like that, because the money spent to put this underground could be spent to harden a real weakness in the electrical grid. And that's what's important to me, is that nobody goes out. If a line went out near a substation, it's going to be fixed immediately because it's very easy for the repair people to get there. What you need to worry about is when it's in the field, down the line, 3, 4, 5 miles away from the substation, where it's difficult to find lines that are down. I'd rather money be spent over there to help people not lose their lights than here, where the line would be almost immediately fixed. If a 69 kilovolt transmission line went down here, it would be fixed immediately. There were no trees that could knock down that size pole in that area.
Well, I know you came to the PSCG meeting and advocated for the 19 monster poles that no one in Garden City or Uniondale, for that matter, really wanted.
Absolutely, but you have to understand where they were. A lot of people took a position. I walked on both sides of the street, on Stewart Avenue and Commercial Avenue. The place is littered with poles. Literally littered with poles.
You're really advocating for PSCG.
I'm advocating to save money, to do the most efficient thing with the limited resources that all of us have. That's what I'm advocating for. I'm not advocating for PSCG. I don't advocate for you, and I don't advocate for anyone else. I advocate for the most efficient way for everybody to get the most out of each dollar spent. That's what I advocate for.
You both agree to disagree. I still with the neighbors. Thank you, everybody.
Website where you put these up? I don't have a website yet.
Okay, anything like that?
I post on Newsday and post on Felix Production.
Felix.
What would you like? I'll send you anything you want, but I'm going to be setting up a website soon.
Do you have an email address?
Yes.
And to get to speak at the end of the meeting, you just put in a request at the beginning.
What happens is this meeting is divided into 3 sections.
Right.
And it's the public hearing, administrative, and the miscellaneous. So you put a slip of paper and indicate which items you want to speak on, and then they call you accordingly. And my speech usually on at least administrative, and that's where they spend the money. Public hearing occasionally, and the miscellaneous is anything you want to call it. Where are you from?
I'm from Valley Street.
Okay, what do you do? You report it?
Not a reporter.
Okay. Okay, yeah, basically what, if you want to know, give me your email address, I can send you a wealth of anything you want. I'll email it. If you want anything about anything, I got tons of shit. And, essentially what you needed is transparency. Because governing by the people doesn't work. People are ignorant. Yeah, but people are ignorant, and that's why they don't know. They're not stupid. They're just very hard to get information from the town. I'm very persistent. If you want, you're in the government class or something? Yeah, transparency basically is basically knowing, not even know if you can pencil or anything like that in the back of the computer. You need to know where the money is going. If you look at the budget, you see at a macro level. And when you start digging in, and you see the resistance of getting kind of here, it gets more and more difficult to get below the surface. But that's really how you're gonna fix government.
Yeah,
If you email me something, tell me what you wanna know about, I have like everything from budget stuff to,
Do you ever get any of the financial reports?
Oh, yeah. I'll send you the financial reports. If you email me, I'll give you the financial reports I just spoke about. Because that's the key, that's an insight. The budget is like nonsense. The budget is, you can't tell. You got 19 people earning $1 million. What do they do? Here, when you see these financial reports, you see they dispose of 400 tons of garbage. Now you can see what's the size of the garbage report. Why is it garbage went down, the price went up? So see, like, then you have to dig further. You can't just make an assumption based on that. If that comprehensive financial report is like 20 pages, it really has 10 years worth of stuff. You can really see into history. And you see differences. And you have to learn counties. Some of the county rules changed after the numbers jumped. In 2007, they required post-employment benefits to provide debts. And so every municipality in 2007, the debt went up. Because they were required to count benefits that they're going to pay out for 30 years as debt. Are you going to go up to the Marine? Yes, after the meeting.
All right, we'll take care of it. Good job tonight.
At least let them throw you. At least let them throw you out. Have a dignity to get thrown out.
Love the idea. When I love the idea.
Well, it's about foils. It's like you all. So you're curious. I gotta my scanners. I gotta on the computer. When I scan it, I gotta scan all this stuff in. 21 pages. We'll see how it goes. I can't predict the future with this stuff.